You walk into the kitchen with total purpose. You know exactly why you're here, and then you cross the threshold, stop dead in the middle of the room, and have absolutely no idea what you came in for. You stand there. You open the fridge hoping it'll jog something loose. Nothing. You probably think that's just a glitch. A little brain hiccup, nothing more. It isn't. It's a clue. That tiny, stupid, universal moment is a window into something most people never notice. How little of your everyday behavior is actually run by the you who feels in charge. So here are 5 quiet, well-studied facts about the things you do every single day without thinking. And once you see them, you can't unsee how strange and how brilliant being a person actually is. Fact 1. Walking through a doorway is what made you forget. That isn't a figure of speech. A researcher named Gabriel Radvansky ran a series of experiments where people moved through virtual and real rooms, carrying objects and trying to remember them. He found something oddly specific. People forgot noticeably more right after they passed through a doorway than when they walked the same distance inside a single room. The doorway itself was doing it. The leading explanation is that your mind files your life into episodes, and it treats a doorway as the end of one scene and the start of the next. Crossing it, your mind quietly closes the previous chapter, including the thought you were holding, to clear space for whatever the new room demands. You didn't lose your focus. Your mind filed it away the instant you changed rooms, exactly as it was built to. The forgetting isn't a malfunction. It's housekeeping. Fact 2. That thing you're embarrassed about right now, almost nobody noticed. There's a now classic study in which researchers had a student walk into a room full of peers wearing a deeply embarrassing t-shirt, then asked the student to guess how many people had clocked it. The student was sure about half the room had. The real number was a tiny fraction of that. Most people hadn't registered it at all. It's called the spotlight effect, and it runs your social life more than you know. Because you are the permanent star of your own experience, it feels like the lights are always on you. Your stumble on the sidewalk, the dumb thing you said, the stain on your shirt. But everyone else is the star of their own movie, not yours. They're far too busy worrying about their own spotlight to track your every move. That cringe you carry from 3 years ago, the one that still makes you wince in the shower? Statistically, you are the only person left on Earth who remembers it happened. Fact 3. You like things simply because you've seen them before, and you call it taste. In 1968, a psychologist named Robert Zayonk showed people random shapes, made-up words, and unfamiliar faces, some just once, some many times over. Then he asked which they liked. Again and again, people preferred whatever they had seen most often. Nothing about the things had changed. The only difference was familiarity. It's called the mere exposure effect, and it is quietly everywhere. The song you didn't like until the 4th play and now love. The brand you trust for no reason you can name. The person who became more attractive the more you were simply around them. Underneath your preferences, your mind runs a simple ancient rule. If I've met this before and nothing bad happened, it must be safe. And safe starts to feel like good. A startling amount of what you call your personal taste is really just a list of things you've bumped into often enough to stop fearing. Fact 4. Doing someone a favor makes you like them more. Not the other way around. We all assume the order is obvious. You like someone, so you help them. But it runs powerfully in reverse, too. The story goes that Benjamin Franklin won over a political rival not by doing him a kindness, but by asking to borrow a rare book from him. Having done Franklin that small favor, the rival warmed to him and the two became friends. Psychologists have since found the pattern holds up. Here's the quiet logic your mind runs to make it true. When you do something kind for a person, part of you needs the world to make sense, and the cleanest way to explain, I just went out of my way for this person is I must like them. So your feelings quietly rearrange themselves to match what your hands already did, which means the path to someone's affection isn't always to give to them. Sometimes it's to let them give to you, to ask the small favor, and let their own mind talk them into liking you. Fact 5, and this is the one that stays with you. Right now in conversation, you are copying people with no idea you're doing it. In 1999, two psychologists, Tanya Chartrand and John Barg, watched people interact with a stranger who, by design, would rub their own face or shake their foot at certain moments. Without noticing, the real participants began doing the same, rubbing their face, jiggling their foot, matching a person they'd just met. They called it the chameleon effect. We unconsciously mirror the posture, gestures, and rhythms of whoever we're with. And here's the part that lands. The more two people unconsciously mirror each other, the more they end up liking each other, and the more smoothly they feel the whole conversation went. Your body is running a silent, constant negotiation with every person you talk to, reaching for common ground beneath the words, building closeness through a dance neither of you knows you're doing. The connection you feel with someone isn't only in what was said, it's in two nervous systems quietly falling into step. Step back and look at the 5 together, forgetting at a doorway, misjudging who's watching, liking the familiar, warming to the people you help, falling into step with strangers. None of these are tricks or quirks. They're glimpses of the same thing, an enormous, elegant machinery running underneath your ordinary life that you almost never see. I think of it like a theater. Out front, the show looks effortless. You moving through your day, deciding, preferring, connecting, being yourself. But behind the curtain, there's a vast crew you never thank and never see. Closing scenes, managing the spotlight, sorting safe from unsafe, choreographing the dance. And it's their unseen labor that lets the performance feel so smooth. And here's the honest part. You wouldn't want it any other way. If you had to consciously run all of it, you'd never make it out of the kitchen. The autopilot isn't a flaw in you to fix. It's the thing that makes a human life possible. But once you've peeked backstage, you get to watch the play with new eyes. A little more amazed, a little more forgiving of yourself, and a lot more aware of how much wonder is hiding inside an ordinary Tuesday. Here's a tiny experiment to feel one of these for yourself today. The next time you're talking with someone, take one quiet second to notice your own body, your posture, your hands, the tilt of your head, and then glance at theirs. There's a good chance you're already matched. Same lean, same crossed arms, same rhythm. You didn't decide to do that. The crew did. Catching it once is strange and a little delightful, and it does something useful. For 1 second, you get to actually see the invisible machinery at work, instead of only being run by it. Tell me in the comments which of these 5 got you, and be honest about the doorway one because I know you've stood frozen in a room wondering why you walked in. Say which fact you've definitely lived because someone scrolling past has done the exact same thing and thinks it's just them being scatterbrained. It isn't. It's all of us. And if you want more of these, the hidden machinery running underneath the ordinary things you do every day, that's exactly what this channel is for. There's plenty more coming, and I'd be glad to have you here.